Have you ever felt that nervous flutter right before sharing something you've created? That little voice asking, what if it's not good enough? Yeah, me too. Especially with anything creative, like this video I'm recording. It feels like such a big step to let someone else see our ideas. But today I was thinking, what if we explore that feeling, that vulnerability, together? Sounds risky, right? But after diving deep into Brené Brown's work, I'm starting to realize vulnerability isn't weakness. It's actually where all the best stuff in life starts. Connection, creativity, even joy. If you've ever hidden your art, your ideas, or even parts of yourself because of that fear, this video might be helpful. Today we are talking about what is vulnerability and why it's scary, how it's actually the birthplace of creativity and connection, and 3 gentle ways to practice showing up as your authentic self, even when it feels terrifying. Hi everyone, it's Meika. Welcome to my little corner of the internet, or welcome back if you've been here before. This is a space where I try to help artists by transforming personal development and self-knowledge concepts into practical and accessible tips. So, today I wanted to chat about something that's been on my mind lately: vulnerability. For so long, I thought it meant showing everyone all my messy and insecure parts. But I've been reading a bit and thinking a lot, especially about what Brené Brown says. She's this amazing researcher who talks about these things, and I'm starting to see it differently. It's still scary for me. I remember trying to choose a career path, illustration or 3D art maybe. The what ifs were huge. What if I'm not good enough? That uncertainty, that risk, that emotional exposure of facing those fears, that's vulnerability. And it's something I deal with daily, especially when sharing my art or this video. Part 1. What vulnerability really is and why it's scary. So, Brené Brown calls it uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. But when you break it down, it's really those moments when we show up not knowing what's going to happen. Like sharing a drawing you are not sure about, or admitting you're struggling with something. It's about learning to trust the process and trust ourselves. Trusting that it's okay if it's not perfect. If you've ever felt that little notch in your stomach before hitting post or showing someone your work, maybe you could give this video a like. It really makes me feel like we're in this together. So, why it's so scary? Our brains are wired to protect us. Our inner alarm, the amygdala, shouts danger when we think of being vulnerable. But it turns out that another part of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, can learn to calm down that alarm. We just need a little practice. So maybe being vulnerable is like a muscle. If you practice showing up, even when shaky, it might get a tiny bit easier. Part 2. The hidden power in vulnerability for creativity and growth. Here's what I'm slowly learning, and it's something that Brené Brown talks about a lot too. Vulnerability isn't a weakness. It's where connection, creativity, and joy begin. When we let ourselves be seen, flaws and all, our creativity can breathe. Think about art, for example. If we're too scared to make a wrong line, how do we find our unique style? It's in those small risks that magic can happen. In a world full of AI-generated perfection, our quirks and bruises are what makes us human. It's like a garden full of wildflowers. Some petals are uneven, some colors don't match perfectly, but together they create a vibrant, living tapestry that's far more beautiful than anything too polished. I would love to hear from you. What's one small creative risk you've taken recently that felt scary but worth it? Or is there something you're working up the courage to share? I would genuinely love to hear about your journey in the comments. Part 3. Practical tips to embrace vulnerability. Okay, so how do we actually practice vulnerability without feeling like we're jumping off a cliff every time? Here are 3 small steps that are helping me. 1. Start small. Sharing like a conversation with your closest friend. I started by sharing my insecurities with my partner. Being heard and accepted just as I am helped me begin the journey of embracing vulnerability. It's like dipping your toes into a chilly lake. You don't have to dive in head first. Just a gentle step is enough to feel the water's touch. 2. Reframe failure. Vulnerability as learning to walk in the dark. Rather than letting mistakes scare you, think of vulnerability like learning to walk in a dark room. At first, you might bump into furniture or trip over a hug, but each stumble teaches you where the obstacles are. Over time, you learn the layout, and walking becomes easier and even a little adventurous. Each mistake is just part of getting comfortable in the unknown. 3. Practice self-compassion. Be the loving adult your inner child needs. When your inner critic starts saying you're not good enough or nobody cares, imagine looking at your younger self, a child full of potential but also uncertainty and fear. Instead of harsh judgments, offer that child the same gentle encouragement, patience, and belief you'd give a little one learning to navigate the world. Vulnerability isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up with kindness and saying, I see you and I'm here to support you. Treat yourself like a caring adult, comforting a child who's trying their best, reminding them that it's okay to stumble and that they are worthy of love and encouragement. And we have a very important extra tip. Mindfulness has also been so helpful for me to embrace vulnerability. It helps you see your thoughts as just thoughts, not absolute truths. When I can observe my critical thoughts instead of believing them, vulnerability feels less threatening. For me, drawing like this, quietly sketching while sharing my thoughts, it's a way to practice it, one hesitant line at a time. It's about showing up, being present with my feelings, even the wobbly ones. It's okay to be a work in progress. We all are. And maybe the most beautiful things are created because of our imperfections. Speaking of exploring creativity and maybe trying new things without the pressure of perfection, I recently found this lovely workbook called 365 Days of Art, a creative exercise for each day of the year. It's a simple journal with daily creative activities, from basic drawing exercises to gentle tutorials that help build confidence and really helped me to just play and experiment. What I love is how it connects with what we've been discussing about vulnerability. It's just about giving yourself permission to create without judgment. If you're curious, I have an affiliate link in the description. Using that link helps support this channel at no extra cost to you, which I'd be so grateful for. But no pressure at all, of course. I just wanted to share something that's been helpful on my own creative journey. If any of this resonated with you, don't forget to give a little like on this video. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, maybe consider subscribing. I'd love to continue sharing my journey with you. Also, if you really struggle with that constant need for everything to be perfect, before you can even start, maybe you should check my last video, which I talk about 3 exercises that are helping me to overcome perfectionism. Link in the description. It's all part of the same journey, I think, learning to be kinder to ourselves. Remember, your quirks, your unique way of seeing the world, your imperfections, those are the things that make you special. And it's truly okay to be a work in progress. I know I certainly am.